It's Friday, June 14th, 2024. Welcome to episode 107 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. In this edition of the Postcast, Alameda Hospital's plan to eliminate surgery meets with resistance. The proposed Radium Theater Performing Arts Center grapples with the issue of scenic views. Alameda PD takes a proactive approach to vehicle thefts. Alameda Fire EMS is recognized for excellence. Some great notes from the local sports scene, progress on the revamped Encinal pedestrian crossings, a hidden gem of a pizza, and your movie-making neighbors appear to have a hit on their hands. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story:
The nurses, united, will never be divided.
All right, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Whose patients?
Our patients.
Whose hospital?
Our hospital.
Whose patients?
Our patients.
Whose hospital?
That was the sound in front of Alameda Hospital Wednesday afternoon as nurses gathered to protest the facility's decision to get rid of the operating room. Linda Strack, a circulating nurse at Alameda Hospital, told the Post that about 2 months ago the nurses received a memo that stated, quote, "We're giving you official notice that in 90 days, as of July 1st, we are closing all surgical services, elective and emergency cases," end quote. In a statement to the Post, Alameda Health System explained the decision to remove surgical services from Alameda Hospital. Quote, "Alameda Health System is relocating elective surgeries from Alameda Hospital to other AHS hospitals. Today, 95% of the surgery patients who are treated at Alameda Hospital are not City of Alameda residents. AHS is relocating those surgeries closer to the patients who are traveling to Alameda from the mainland for care," end quote. Another reason cited by AHS, the need to perform a seismic upgrade of the hospital building. The hospital building is owned by the City of Alameda Healthcare District. Alameda Health System is responsible for the delivery of healthcare services. At the center of the issue is basically a numbers game. David Sion, president of the Board of Trustees of Alameda Health System, notes that current surgery volume is comparatively low, around 4 surgeries per day, with about 271 annually coming in the form of emergency surgeries. So, do you keep a fully staffed OR when Highland Hospital in Oakland is a 24/7 Level 1 trauma center? Nurse Strack remains concerned. Quote, "Now people who need surgery will need to be transferred to San Leandro or Highland, which already have long wait times," end quote. She added, quote, "You shouldn't have to transfer someone out for something like an appendectomy because then you're taking that ambulance away from someone else in a more critical condition. It's a lose-lose situation," end quote. As of now, the plan is to eliminate elective surgeries by the end of the month. The elimination of emergency surgeries is dependent upon receiving a waiver from the state of California. The federal definition of a hospital does not include surgery, but the state definition does. Kelsey Gore spent time talking with folks on all sides of this contentious issue. Find her article at alamedapost.com/news. Also, thanks to Kelsey for that opening audio clip. Since all the way back in episode 19, we've been talking about plans for the Radium Performing Arts Center, anchored by a 500-seat theater located near Waterfront Park. On Monday, the Planning Board held a public workshop on the draft development plan for the Arts Center. The main topic of the workshop: how the construction of the center would impact the view available to the neighboring Naval Air Museum. If you spent any time at all following stories on development on Alameda Point, you probably noticed that invariably 2 issues dominate. 1, remediation of contaminated land, and 2, the view across the bay. The city's 2014 Town Center and Waterfront Precise Plan establishes key views to consider when planning development at Alameda Point. 2 of these views relate to the proposed Arts Center. The museum is directly north of the proposed theater site. The Precise Plan suggests maintaining a view corridor of at least 40 feet, preferably 120, along the center line of the museum and retaining an 80-foot wide view corridor along the face of the large aircraft hangars to the north. The challenge? The footprint of the Art Center is too wide to fit between those 2 view corridors. Councilmember Trish Herrera Spencer advocated conserving the view from the Alameda Naval Air Museum, noting that the museum struggles financially and should be protected. Board member Teresa Ruiz responded that even though the Naval Air Museum building needs, quote, "tender loving care," end quote, she didn't want to see it diminished by blocking its views. She added that she would prefer to see the Performing Arts Center moved further west to highlight the museum. When you start talking about moving the footprint of a building, it becomes something of a domino effect. The plan's architect has stated that shifting the building east is not possible. To what degree does the museum need to be renovated, and which of the 2 highlighted views do you prioritize? In the end, the board appointed a subcommittee to work with the Historical Advisory Board to refine the development plan before returning for full board approval in the fall. For details, including artist renditions and site plans to help you visualize the land and sight lines involved, see Karen Jensen's article at alamedapost.com/news. Side note, if you've never been to the Naval Air Museum, put it on your list for an upcoming Saturday. Truly fascinating look at an incredible part of Alameda history. Auto theft in Alameda remains a huge problem. As has been pointed out in multiple episodes, there are months when the auto theft rate exceeds 6 times the national average. In fairness, that rate is only half of what Oakland has to deal with. APD's Community Resource Unit is taking a proactive approach. They compiled a list of suspects with warrants that led to 11 arrests. Additionally, 2 in-progress thefts attempts were stopped, and charges were filed this week against one defendant for attempted car theft and resisting arrest. For more details, see alamedapost.com/news. Staying with our first responders for a moment, congratulations to Alameda Fire Department's Community Assessment, Response, and Engagement, or CARE team. Last month, they were recognized by Alameda County Emergency Medical Services as the Alameda County EMS Program of the Year. This 24/7 team is an alternative to response for nonviolent individuals facing a mental health crisis. Their results have been spectacular, de-escalating situations and drastically reducing the number of transports to medical and psychiatric facilities. Congratulations, folks. Taking a look at some local sporting news, 12 high school students from Alameda were among nearly 70 athletes competing with the Oakland Strokes rowing team at the U.S. Rowing Youth National Championships in Sarasota, Florida last weekend. The Strokes finished in the top 10 in 7 events, winning the men's youth coxless 4 and taking third in the men's youth 8. Alameda turning out some true rowing talent with student athletes committing to such notable programs as Yale, Dartmouth, and Princeton. Full results and a complete roster at alamedapost.com/sports. In episode 105, I reported on the return of the Alameda Merchants, our second collegiate summer baseball squad, returning to action after an 8-year hiatus. They played their home opener last Friday in the Island City Showdown against the Alameda Anchors. Offensive showcase with the Merchants prevailing 16-10. Gabriel Caraballo has all the details at alamedapost.com/sports. Up in the big leagues, a bit of a bump in the road for Alameda's Brian Wu. He was scratched from his scheduled start on Tuesday in Seattle against the White Sox due to some arm pain. An MRI came up clear, and now the Mariners have adopted a wait-and-see approach as they decide when to return him to the starting rotation. Brian's record, 3-0 on 6 starts, 1.07 ERA, Seattle undefeated in all 6 of those starts. Get ready for our next Walking History Tour as we delve into the subject of Fernside. Dennis Evanosky continues his examination of Fernside with Fernside After the Cohens to get you ready for Saturday's tour. That tour is entitled Fernside and A.A. Cohen. Find the article at alamedapost.com/history. Get your tour tickets at alamedapost.com/tours. If you're like me, you may have been annoyed by some of the new crossing signals on Encinal. Those signals were originally programmed by Caltrans, and let's just say some of the timing was suboptimal. The city has heard the complaints, and technicians have been working to rectify the situation. I can tell you it's definitely improved. Thank you, folks. A hidden gem for you. It might sound strange, but have you tried the Meyer Lemon Pizza at Marley G's? Mozzarella, ricotta, goat cheese, extra virgin olive oil, prosciutto with slices of Meyer lemon. It's really good. Remember, odds are one of your neighbors might be a Pixar employee. With a studio in Emeryville, a fair number of Pixarians call Alameda home. They've got reason to celebrate. All early indications are that Inside Out 2 is a hit. Great international opening, certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Yours truly has seen it, and it is some of Pixar's best work in years. Definitely worth a trip to the theater. Quick reminder, deadline for entries to the 4th of July parade is this Sunday. Find the link to register at alamedapost.com/features. Oh, and good news. The equestrian entries are back after last year's kerfluffle. This Saturday, celebrate Juneteenth at South Shore Center. This family-friendly event features live performances, a DJ, food trucks, and more, noon to 4:30. More weekend events at alamedapost.com/events. Doubt continues at Altarena Playhouse. Saturday, the Farmers Market from 9 to 1. Also on Saturday, head to Little John as Rhythmics in the Park continues with the music of Azza, featuring traditional Moroccan sounds highlighted by deep danceable rhythms, intricate melodies, and soaring soulful vocals. Family-friendly and free to attend. Sunday, Head West Marketplace returns to St. George Spirits from 11 to 5. More events at alamedapost.com/events. Thank you for your support of local news for Alameda. To give a tax-deductible donation, head to alamedapost.com/memberships. Remember, find us on Facebook, Instagram, MSN, YouTube, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, as well as our own subreddit. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple News. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. This Sunday, happy Father's Day to all the dads, granddads, dads-in-law, and dads in fact. And remember, you don't have to be a father to be a dad. I'm Scott Peeler, back next Friday with episode 108 of the Alameda Postcast.